My name is Paul Burry, and this is an FFG Chronicles. This FFG Chronicles is going to be the reaction to the Nintendo Switch event that they had evening of January 12th, early morning January 13th. The first reaction I had was, man, all these translations are painful. Especially when EA was up there and speaking English and we had to wait for the gentleman to translate into Japanese. And then there are instances where someone was prattling on Japanese and we'd sit there for like a minute before they ever said anything in English. And I'm like, how much did we miss? How much did we lose? That was my initial reaction. But going beyond that, I think the Switch is pretty cool. The price of $299, I like that. You know, that seems reasonable. My one real concern with that though is the Wii U with one game is $299 as well. So I'm worried about the specs. Like, you know, they didn't go over any of the memory and any of the other specs of it. So it's supposed to be as powerful as a PS4 and Xbox One, but they didn't really show us anything that proved it. So I was a little concerned about that. The other concern I had was the battery life. The battery life of him saying 2.5 hours to 6 hours depends on the game when you're away from the docking station. That really kind of bothers me because I know they kind of said something similar with the Wii U, and it's like down to maybe an hour without being constantly connected in. So the portability, I'm not really sure how portable it's going to be. I like the controllers. I like those little, you know, the Joy-Cons, the little hand ones. I think that's kind of neat. That really gets them closer to how Kinect is. So you can do stuff with both hands. That's pretty neat. I like that. I think it's going to be, you know, innovative with that, with the gyroscopes, and you can still do amiibos and all that. So that's pretty nifty. Yeah, I like all the adaptability. March 3rd, 2017. That's a good date. Early March, better than later March. So I'd rather have it sooner than later. That way, in the future, price drops. By the way, I expect a Wii U price drop to be announced soon. Definitely sometime in 2017. It needs to come down in price, and we may even just like be pulled from store shelves. You know, we may not see much more of the Wii U going forward. I like there's no region locking. That's pretty nifty. So if you want to get a Japanese game, that's awesome. Especially like I say, the Dragon Quest X, Dragon Quest XI. I really hope we get US releases of those because we've been wanting to play them and review them and everything. But if we have to go get a Japanese version in the future, you know, we can go ahead and do that since there's no region locking. That's absolutely awesome. I don't like their new online plan, and we'll get into some of the games that kind of really concerns me. The whole, like, it's gonna be free at first and it's gonna be a charge. They're finally, you know, getting like Microsoft and Sony with having some kind of a fee for that. I personally, that's why I'm so, you know, bored and not really playing a lot of online games, is because they want you to pay them all the time. I mean, it's just like they want to, you know, it's what we call repeat pay to play. You know, and I don't care if you get some lame games for free. You know, you only get them for free as long as you keep paying them. So they're not really yours. They're just like, you know, rentals as long as you're doing it. So the 1-2 switch looks pretty cool. I kind of like the idea of that. I hope it's not too expensive. That's another thought, is what are the game prices going to be? They haven't really said. I mean, something like 1-2 switch, I hope it's going to be like 30, maybe 40 at most. If they're trying to sell it for 60, that's too much in my opinion. ARMS looks interesting. Again, that one I would think shouldn't be any more than 50 tops. Splatoon 2. And the Splatoon 2 is one of the biggest concerns because Nintendo made those promises with Splatoon 1 and then they didn't come through. There was hardly any local multiplayer. And so then you had to go online for the multiplayer. And then you had to sit there and do all these matches online to get better, to get stuff. And it was really lame, really horrible. And now they're going to charge you to play online. If they do Splatoon 2 like they did Splatoon 1, I mean, that's just going to kill it for us. Super Mario Odyssey looks awesome, but then that's not until Christmas. So, you know, that'll be a Christmas thing, but, you know, once you play with it at launch, and that's another issue I have, is there's tons of ports coming from, you know, PS4, Xbox One, all these games porting over, but there's not a lot of original works yet. So I'm really concerned the launch is going to be kind of meh, kind of ho-hum. Xenoblade 2, I hope they go away from the, you know, the attacking Christians and you know, discriminating against Christians. I hope they go away from that. I kind of doubt it. We'll see. And then of course, you know, there's a Fire Emblem Warriors coming out, and there's some other, you know, macabre and morbid games, some sports games. EA's talked about FIFA but not Madden, so I was a little perplexed. But I was like, we're going to get any football games on the Switch? I hope so. I know NBA 2K18 has been announced for the Switch. We published that on our website. Of course, I already mentioned the Dragon Quest 10, 11, and there's also Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 coming to the Switch, so that's kind of nifty. Like I already mentioned, the memory. We don't know much about the memory, don't know much about the specs. Lots of ports. Wii U price drop should drop. The game prices. And one of the biggest concerns is what the quantity can be. Nintendo has a real bad habit of not having a lot of quantity available for new systems. So we'll see what happens with that. I do think the Switch should do better than the Wii U, but I don't think it'll do as well as the Wii. We'll see. Time will tell. That's all my thoughts. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you have any comments, leave them below.